Hi, how are you? By the way, I am Ana Martiu Idol Coro and I am a student from the University of Cebu, Lapu-Lapu and Mandaue in the College of Teacher Education in English Department. So right now, we are just going to talk about communication. And communication is just simple. It's the process of exchanging thoughts and ideas to another person. It is also how we express ourselves, our feelings. What do we feel? It's the way how we talk to each other. We're having a conversation. That's communication. And it's the process of everything. We communicate to fix things, to communicate, to let others know how you feel. We communicate to inform others. And in communication, there is always a listener. Now, it's very important that you are a good listener. So there are three things to consider in listening. So first is the hearing. Of course, we are also using our sense of hearing. When we listen, we also hear. But not just hearing alone. But in hearing, this is where you catch what is being said. Next one is the understanding. So this way you process what you heard. You try to understand, you comprehend in your own way that what you have heard or what you have listened. And the third one is the judgment. You ask questions like, does it make sense? Is he or she saying make sense? Or like, does it have any solutions? So that are the three things to consider when listening. And it's very important to know that listening is also important because it builds trust and makes a strong connection. Now, listening is not just any type of a person that you don't have to worry because it's a skill and everyone can practice it, and there are actually effective ways to improve your listening. So first, that is the facial expression. Facial expression shows your emotions. So if you are showing a poker face, then that means that you are not very interested in conversation. Thus, control your facial expressions very well. Second is the body language, the gestures and the eye contacts, but do not stare. Eye contact is important in conversation because it makes a connection between you and also the other person that you are talking. But in this way, you have to be very careful in asking questions so that you don't interrupt the whole conversation. Now let's talk about the types of listening. That is the empathetic, the comprehensive, the critical, and the appreciative listening. So appreciative listening is just very simple. You just listen to appreciate. It's like you're listening to a music and you just appreciate the melody of the music, the way how its words are rhymes, its lyrics are rhymes, and everything. You just appreciate, and it's very therapeutic. Unlike to comprehensive listening, you listen so you can comprehend what the speaker is saying. And another one is the empathetic listening. This one, you are listening to your peers, your loved ones, or your family's problems in life. And this one, you feel empathy for them. You also feel what they feel because you are listening properly. And the last one is the critical thinking. This is to scrutinize or criticize an argument, and it's very important to think critically because in this way we can know that we can justify our arguments very well. So that are the 4 types of listening. Now let's move on to written and spoken text. Do you know what this is? It's just very simple. Written text is actually written in words like the essays, the emails, the reports. It's just written in paper. While the spoken text is being spoken. It's verbal. So let's go back to listening. If there is a good listener, then also there are habits of a poor listener. So there are 5 habits of a bad or poor listener. So the first one is spacing out. This one, you are physically in there. You are in the conversation, but your mind is wandering somewhere else. The second is the selective listening. You only respond to what interests you, to topics that interest you. Second is the pretend listening. You are, for example, you are on your phone, but someone is talking to just pretending that you listen. You nod like you just on your phone and you nod like that. So that's pretending listening. Next one is the self-centered. You always talk about yourself. You do not take the turn to the others. And the last one is the word listening. You only react when you hear some words that catches your mind. So that are just the 5 habits of a poor listener. So in communication, there is also ethics, and it is called the ethical communication. So the ethical communication, these are just the ethics of a good communicator. So you have to consider these traits. So first one is the respectful. You have to be respectful, and this is a very important trait in every ethics. You have to respect the culture, you have to respect the person, the feeling, and everything. Next one is the confidentiality. You have to consider the private lives of others. You have to consider the confidentiality. You shall not expose any confidential topics or thoughts when you are public speaking or speaking to someone. And that is all for communication arts. Thank you. Have a nice day.